Hello, this is Tomasz Roczynski for Tats Plus, and welcome back to another part of modeling of Hearn. Open up Mari and choose New Project and create one map, no matter how it is called. Give it a name to the project. Let's call it Hearn 1. Okay, and now we need load geometry, so press load. Find your geometry on the disk and choose open. Find Hearn freeze obj, and now I believe we can change color name to Hearn diffuse, Hearn antlers, because we will be painting antlers first. So Hearn antlers diffuse and press OK. You can change file space, you can change fill on the fly, but we leave this for now as a brownish color and press OK. And Mari will load this geometry of Hearn, and we need to be patient with this because it is very big geometry, about 1 gigs of RAM. Okay, and Mari is chunking through this obj file. So cut this. Okay, and now we back. So we got our geometry in place. As you can see, Mari is pretty impressively responsive with this amount of geometry. We can see that it imported nicely. So that's the power of Mari. Okay, now we've got channels, one channel for the color, and we got objects. As you can see, now we got only one object, it's Hearn freezed, and we can now collapse channels for a second, and we will add some more geometry. So we can add versions of this Hearn character, but we can add another part of geometry. So hit plus, select obj file for cloth, and as you can see, it's imported to Mari, and press OK and choose another file, and it will be earring and the stone and strap. As you can see, Mari is chunking through this geometry. Alright, and as you can see, now we've got earring and everything in place. Okay, so it was frozen on a lower level, so it is not very smooth, but we don't need to be smooth anymore because it will be painted with just a small amount of work. So now turn off earring and glove, and let's do channels for Hearn. As you remember, we did some selection groups parts, and those parts are written by Mari. So as you can see, now I can turn on and off parts of mesh that was done in Modo. So as you can see, I can turn off legs, hands, and antlers, and leave antlers on for now because we will be painting antlers first. It's a good start because it are quite simple to paint. So we got one channel, and we can go to auto UV. Okay, we can just go to UV file. As you can see, now we got UDIMs and 1001, 1002, 1012. As you can see, as we can see all UDIMs at once, so we can turn off all unnecessary items, and we just leave it with the antlers. And now we will be painting them. So we can go to layers and go to import into layer. Okay, we will be importing color information that we baked from Modo. So just go to directory. So in my case it will be in my bureau. So go to Hern, and we can just go to bakes. And now we can choose her antlers bake. Okay, so choose this and import all patches. As you can see, Mari reads the UDIM numbers, and now it's all nice and in the place. So we can have base color right away. As you can see, now the transition of information between Modo and Mari is quite smooth. So now let's go to see. We got a patches list, we got shaders, and we need to create one more complex shader to see everything in place. So as we can see, we got a current shader, and I need to expose one more palette. So I go for the channel list. Okay. As you can see, we can rename this channel to antlers color. Okay. And we got ready color. And we can add shader. Let's go for the BRDF shader. And as you can see, the diffuse color is written from the current channel, and we need to drive bump. So we use quick channel, the gray color, and we need to change its size, and we can go with the right click and go for the resize and give it 4K texture. And now rename this channel to antlers bump, and that is good. So we can go to BRDF channel and choose this antlers bump. Okay. And we can change the diffuse color to antlers color. This way, Mari will display information from the BRDF shader. Okay, and channels will be driving color and bump. And now we can just sculpt. Go to the brush editor and choose this nice speck. Add another layer and bump. As you can see, I'm painting on this bump channel. Okay, as you can see, the Mari is showing me only the bump effect, not the color, but only the bump. So it is very nice way of working, because I know how the bump will look. So I can press B to bake this painted information, and I can clear paint buffer. So now I can find a little better spot to show you exactly what I mean. As you can see, I can just see my current channel, and you now know that I'm painting black and white bitmap, and the white dots are going up and the rest stays down. So I just want to show you this real quick. So as you can see, now I will be painting, seeing my only the bump channel. Okay, so I see the current paint target. So current channel is bump, so press B. And you can see we got different projection option. So I can now have projection to front, set to front, and I can have edge mask. And we can have different painting modes, and I can have bake and auto clear option. So press B to bake paint buffer and clear. And now paint buffer is after baking is completely gone. Sometimes I don't want this, and I want to have paint buffer present, but this is a very nice way of working. So I can just bake, and now I cut this layer because I want to just to show you how the Mari painting system works. And now go back to the PRDF channel and add another layer. Double click to rename it, and we call it simply white. Go to channel, change brush to this number 3, and as you can see we can use dial, this is F9, to choose from this menu of brushes, and we can have white color, and we can just paint in the paint buffer, but I need to change this to, as you can see, nothing happens because I'm on the wrong channel. I should be on endless, just move here, and I should be on endless color. And now the paint is visible because completely white objects are not visible in the bump channel. So now I just painted, but as you can see, the backside projection, the back of this hoof was hidden, and I got painted only on the front side of this geometry. So let's undo that, and now we can change the, choose endless color, clear the paint buffer, and now we can hide one part of endless. So now we've got change selection to face mode and choose selection tool, select polygons, and now we can press H to hide them temporarily, so nothing will get on our way in painting. So now move away, go to projection and change its type to through. Now we will be painting on both sides of geometry at once. So let me show you how I will do that. So I'm painting in paint buffer. Okay, gentle strokes, just to color the tips. And now I can erase while the paint is on the paint buffer. As you can see, I got the erase tool. I can erase all. I can paint again. Okay. So now I'm painting on the paint buffer, and I'm pressing now B for baking. And as you can see, thanks to the projection set to through, I painted on every side at once. So I don't have any strange looking paints. Okay. So now we can do for this tips of endless. Okay, and now we can just paint, press B to bake paint buffer and clear, because I said this so. So now let's do the back. Okay, so paint in the paint buffer. Okay, and now press B to bake it. Okay, now it's our paint buffer is baked and clear. So all looks nice, and we can go to selection and show all. Now all hair is back, but we can go to selection groups and just hide rest of the hand. Okay, we can just hide the body, head. Okay, and deselect left side of the atlas. And as you can see, we got one problem because we got paint on one side, and we need to have it on both sides of atlas. And the best that it should be symmetrical. So we need to transfer somehow this paint from one side to another. And now remember, we did something very clever because we had mirrored UVs, so we can extract information from this patch. As you can see, we can go for selection mode and set this to patch mode. Select whole patch. Okay, go to patches, quick copy. Okay, and now select another patch, quick paste. And we need to do one more thing, patches, transform, flip horizontal. And as you can see, voila, we got pure symmetrical paint on both sides of atlas. And this is technique that I use for painting symmetrical characters and objects, because it is very easy to paint on one side and then just copy information from one patch to another. But remember, you have to have symmetrical UVs like I did in this case, and I hope you do too. So now we can just adjust settings of this layer. Okay, so remember, patches, we can mirror patches very quickly on one layer of paint. So it's time to save our file. And we can now bake this information. So export flattened. Choose export current channel flattened and go create folder called Mari exports in your project directory. So you can, as you can see, I create new folder called Mari exports. Alright, and go back to Mari. And now select this, and as you can see, we got name and alpha channels. I choose remove, use template for everything, and export all patches. And Mari is smart enough to export unpainted patches as a 8 by 8 pixels bitmaps. So now bake is done. As you can see, the antlers are 4K bitmaps, and all the patches that weren't paint are exported as 8 pixels by 8 pixels bitmaps. So this way we will have less impact on render time in Modo. So now open up Modo, and now in 801 we got new function called load UDIM images. So Modo will know where to place bitmaps, so we don't need to do it manually anymore. And we got just one representation of whole bitmaps. And let me show you how it works. So I go for my antler shader. Let's bring it to the front, and I need to move Windows so you can see it. And now we get standard images. So select material endless, go to the add layer, and go for the image map and load UDIMS option. Okay, go for this Mari export folder. Choose this. Choose all bitmaps related and press open. And now the magic is happening. As you can see, we got one bitmap, but in fact it contained all the UDIM patches. And we can expand that in images palette. As you can see, we get all patches imported. And Modo will set UDIM numbers by file name. So we can just select Han, and I believe I need to show you one thing. Okay, so as you can see, we can see UV map that is corresponding to that, and if I select different and endless patches, they are related to different part of paint. So this 1011 is here, and this 0102 is just beside it, just like in Mari. Okay, so this 1012 is over here. Okay, now we got everything in place, and we can just start painting in Mari. And when we will export our file, Modo will update it instantly. Well, not right away, but we can now just add flakes, and we can go for another brush. We can go for the brush palette and choose dots. Okay, I should activate paint tool. As you can see, I'm going again for the patch mode and select all those patches. Okay, and now press H to hide it. And we can do selection group, so change its name to antlers. Right, and hide it. Okay, and now we can easily hide and unhide just this one part of the antlers. So now we can go for the layer, and we can turn on edge mask. So now we can paint on unmasked side of geometry, and Mari will prevent us from paint clashes on the other side that is hidden. So now choose darker brown color and just paint, and we can change brush to this brush number 6. Nice dots, and we can just lay some paint. Press B to bake it. Okay, bake this paint. And now we can export channel flattened. Okay, Mari will remember this channel. Okay, and export all patches. Mari will warn us about overriding exports. And when we export this to Modo, wait the moment for baking. Okay, open up Modo, and we need to see if Modo is reloading this map. As you can see, Now it's starting to show. Yeah, okay. As you can see, Modo has reloaded bitmaps, and you can see we got nice paint. Okay, so this is a good setup. One folder for exporting and assigning to special shaders in special places. And now we can just paint and export everything to Modo. So now cut this and save project, and this is our setup. So now we can just paint the rest of the hand. So go for the antlers, and we can rename this material for antlers PRDF, go for material properties, and now adjust. So change diffuse roughness to 20, and we can lower specular amount to 5 and Fresnel to 40, change roughness to 10, and we can change bump altitude to 1 mm. We can just change displacement to 0, and that's about it. So now I believe we are happy with this. So add layer, processing, gradient, and now we can go for the gradient editor. As you can see, we can get full gradient editor from here, and now we can just add key, this gradient editor, cut this, 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 add key, and lower this to 65% or even more, and change its effect to diffuse amount. And now antlers are looking way much better. Okay, so we can just add another layer. So change light, we need to bright, we need to get some more lightning to the scene. Let's do 4. Okay, it's pretty light, and now we can see all the difference in coloration. So we can change diffuse amount to 75% or even more. So we can edit gradient and lower this diffuse amount to 40. So now we get nicer effect for the antlers. Okay, so we can go back to Mary and paint for real. So now go to antlers bump channel and export current channel flatten. Okay, don't worry that is this bump channel is empty, and we can add export channel. Okay, and now we need to import this exported channel to Modo. Wait for Mary to bake this shader. Okay, go back to Modo. Cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this. Go back to Modo. As you can see, we got now export channel. and go for the atlas. Remember to have something other selected than bitmap before evoking this command load UDIMs. So select this, and now we've got one image map. So change its parameter to bump. Okay, and choose lower value to minus 100 and high value to 100. Now nothing more have changed because we get empty gray layers in this channel, and we will be painting this. So now we can, this is final setup, and now we can just paint all the texture. So we can change endless color to multiply. But I don't think so. It gives nice color. So as you can see, now we can go back to Mari and start painting. We can load shelf with brushes that I have provided you with these tutorial files, and we can choose from these brushes. So now we accept ABR from the Photoshop file and standard brushes, so you can propagate your library with every brush that you have in Photoshop. So now just hide rest of geometry. Okay, we can just hide her arms, her legs. Okay, and now we can paint final texture. So make sure you're on endless map channel, and with this open up layer panel and just bring some dots. Change brush size. To do that, press R and drag on the screen. Choose white color and just paint. As you can see, we got nice paint, but I think that this brush is too small for Mari. I need to make more room for you to see my paintings, and we need to select current channel to be able to see what we are painting. Okay, and we got some nice dots. And as you can see, we need to increase bump altitude, so change it to 4.8, and still nothing. We got endless bump exported. Good. Okay, go back to Modo and wait for Modo to update. So rotate a few times to preview. Okay, and the one thing is that when the bitmaps are quite heavy, this K4K maps, so you have to wait for Modo to load them. So in case you got nothing better to do, just okay. Now Modo has updated, and we can change bump altitude to 1 millimeters. And as you can see, we got nice bump effect on antlers, so they look kinda old and real. So now we can go back to Mari and paint the rest of the antlers. So I believe we can add some crevices to this antlers. So let me just show you in the preview how it looks. So if you are happy with this, we can continue painting. So now let me show you in speed mode the process of painting all antlers. So I just speed up the video so you can see how it was done. So I'm just choosing right brush from the brush that I provided. So I choose this kind of dots, and now with the antlers bump channel selected, I'm just quickly painting some dots and baking, of course, and activate masking by pressing G on the keyboard. And now we can go and paint. As you can see, now I'm painting these bumps. Okay, and now just paint, and press B to bake it. Paint, and press B to bake it. Okay, as you can see, we can now just turn off projection mask for now, because it was masking too much of our information. As you can see, now we can just paint all rest of the antlers. So go for the every part and just paint, and remember to bake paint down. Okay, so now we can just paint. See how Mari is preventing from the glancing angle being projected, and this way you can focus on painting on these areas that are not covered with this bluish color. I changed the default color. You can just change mask preview color to anything you like. And because hair and antlers are just warm color, brownish, so the red one mask that is default would be unwise to use it. So as you can see, I'm just laying this paint strokes. So painting, and press B to bake this before rotation. So that's the painting system and Mari. So now you can just see how I'm painting all antlers. Okay, so we need to add texture variation to every part of the antler. Okay, anytime you can change the view mode to paint target. As you can see, this is this lower icon with layer system and eye on it, and this way you can see not the PRDF shader but actual layer stack that you are painting on. So this way you can focus on just the white and black areas of the bump map that you are painting. Okay, and let me just move this. So as you can see, I'm just switching between black and white areas, so I'm changing brush to this kind of brush, and I will just lay down the crevices. So now I'm just push those parts with a veiny pattern and go for the multiply mode and just slow setting down, and I just bake the paint. So as you can see, I export flattened channel for Modo, and let's see how it is done. Okay, now go back to Modo and wait for Modo to preview for update. And we can just paint and go back for Modo. It's a pretty heavy mesh, so now as you can see we can zoom out and zoom in, and we need to wait because Modo need to. Okay, we can change this value to 1 again. And I need to just check if the bakes. Yes, bake was done. So got this. Cut this, cut this, cut this. And as you can see, now we got Modo has imported this bitmap, and we can see that we got nice, old, and very organic texture of antlers. So go for the antlers color and wrap the preview, and now we can just go back to Mari and paint more. So everything worked as expected. It is very convenient way of working to just add some basic few strokes of paint and export everything and see how it looks in target application, this case in Modo, to see if we don't overdo textures, or they are too high or they are too low with this range of color. As you can see, we just need to see if this black areas that will be pushed inwards are not too heavy. So we can just focus on painting, so we will know how it will look when it will be imported to Modo. So now just change some setting of this brush. You can experiment on your own, because Mari gives you a lot of controls over the painting, and you can even test it on this little small scratch pad. So you can see this is spacing, and we can just propagate more. It is good for stains, and we can just change flow of the paint. So now it is harder to just paint one stroke. Okay, and we can add spacing even more. So now I paint stroke. Okay, you can adjust this to your liking. So I want to have different opacity and flow of the paint while I'm stroking. It gives you a way much more control and organic feeling. So let's see. Now let's do here, and also a few strokes over there, and also here. And as you can see, you should go for the whole antlers this way. So now just adding some paint strokes. Of course, you can always change brush size by pressing R on the keyboard and dragging on the viewport. Okay, and as you can see, Now we got nice, almost finished antler bump channel. And a few more dabs of paint. Okay, don't forget to bake before rotation. Okay, you can always set this to bake on rotate, but I don't like this option. I just want to bake by myself. Okay, and now a few touches more. Just too heavy. Okay, and as you can see, I'm painting with different flow of the paint and different opacity. This gives you a very nice way of working, and now we can just export this bump up and see in Modo how the bump is looking in the preview window. So we need to wait for a second for Modo to update, and Modo has written the changes. The best way is to close Modo and open it again, and then Modo will instantly load out every texture. So sometimes with the big textures you have to wait too long for the Modo to update. And now we can see how we are doing, and I believe we have quite nice effect already. So we can see that antlers looks like they are very old and very organic and rich in texture. So we can duplicate the gradient and change its mode to normal, and now we can just add some keys and lower those settings just a little bit down. And I'm trying to change to bump height. In this way you can have the valleys of this bump, so this darker area that will be less diffused, and they will be much darker and they would be much more visible. So now let's do it something like this, 40%, and I believe we are done. So as you can see, now we can exaggerate a bit this crevices of the surface. So now it will be looking old and a little bit dark, and we can just go for the multiply mode with this first gradient and change opacity to 30, so they both are corresponding to diffuse amount, because the higher layer is overwritten in normal mode, but if you set this blend mode to multiply, they both be working on the same surface. So let's change settings to something like that. Okay, and I believe I'm happy with the endless shading so far. So let's paint in Mari some more. So let's do the spikes. Okay, baked paint. Turn off black for now, and now we can again use my method of show all, and we need to go for the patch mode, select one patch, quick copy, select another, quick paste, and transform mirror roll, flip, okay, and we got white. So now go for the black layer, select patch, go for quick copy, then quick paste, and then flip. Okay, now you got perfectly symmetrical paint on the antlers, and you can export flattened channel for color and for bump as well. And now if Modo will update this, and this time it was quicker, as you can see, now we've got two sides of antlers paint at the same time. So that is how we can deal with textures in Mari. That is all for the spot. Thank you.